do you feel like if you had a scale of 1 to 10 in the military, that these conversations are happening, would you say it's a 2, a 5, a 7? Where would you place that?
I think it's happening, and I think people want it to happen. But I think you should be on the lookout for lumps. Knowing it, but then having it connect and result in action are two different things. And so
Yeah.
the military is always big breast cancer awareness events and walks and 5Ks and things like that. I think the personal stories, until I had my diagnosis and I started talking to people one on one, I did not know anyone else that was going through this. It wasn't like the person to person conversations
Right.
I didn't see happening. That is one of the strongest factors that will motivate people to seek care themselves and to seek testing and things like that, is hearing
Yeah.
from somebody else,
Yeah.
their personal story. So kind of yes and kind of no, and there's still room for improvement. And if I can go back on your comment about lack of access to care with people who are deployed, I think
Yeah.
that is also a big factor in military members being in denial or putting off treatment or putting off testing, because if they are diagnosed and they're somewhere where they can't get adequate care, they will be reassigned or sent home from a mission. And so for military members who sign up
Yeah.
to protect and to defend and to go on those types of missions and be in harm's way because that's what they have chosen to do, to come forward and say like, oh, actually I might not be able to do this, or to be pulled out from that situation for their health,
Yeah.
right? That can be incredibly difficult to
Come
to
forward.
do
Yeah.
and to process. There's definitely a conflict there with, as military members, what we want to do and what we sign up to do versus then putting ourselves first as opposed to the mission, even if it is for our own health.
Yeah. I could imagine that is a big part of why even maybe the conversations are not as out there, but to
Yeah.
your point, even the denial factor, I know I went through that too. Like, how can this be? But do you know, Lindsey, that 85% breast cancer diagnosis are people who have no family history? 85%. So we're all walking around thinking, oh, well, I have no family history. This can't happen to me. And then we all ask how and why. So I want to touch on the environmental factors that could be happening in the military.
Mhm.
Some of the research that I've done, I mean, you guys are exposed to chemicals, and especially people who are in combat or whatever. I also wonder, should there be a set standard that anyone who's in harm's way of chemical exposure should have a higher attention to this, or discussions around what that could be doing? Every year I'm posting on Memorial Day saying that these are the kind of things that are happening, with people in the military. I just don't feel like it's being addressed ongoing. It shouldn't
Mhm.
be just Memorial Day or October. I'm a fan of 365 days a year education, so just food for thought on that. So let me move
Mhm.
on a little bit. What strengths or lessons from the military training has helped you get through the diagnosis? I'd love to hear this, because the mental strength that you have, did it prepare you to go through something like this, or maybe not? I mean, this is a human thing, no matter what your background could be, but I wonder, did it help?
Yeah, I think aspects of it definitely did help. Like I said, my colleagues have been so supportive. My leadership has been so supportive. I'm definitely lucky to have people around me that care and want me to be better and feel better and everything. I think something special about the military is that there is kind of this very automatic and easy community where we all wear the same uniform. We all feel camaraderie with each other. And so the people that I have connected with that also have diagnoses, there's just this very comfortable level of community between us that has been very helpful. There's kind of an extra layer of support there. The military succeeds because we put each other first, because we are there for each other, because we can depend on each other. And so I've found going through this process that that's absolutely true. I've had so many friends and family and coworkers that I've been able to lean on for support, and that's without a doubt helped me through this process.